All right, well, next we want to delve into everyone's favorite Mormon missionary, I guess, Elijah Craig, because that's what that shit sounds like. There's some dude planting crops in the wintertime.
Actually, that's really funny you said that, because Elijah Craig was a pastor.
No shit.
He was.
No way. He brewed bourbon?
Distilled bourbon, yeah. But
bourbon for Jesus.
Yeah, so before we get into
bourbon for Jesus.
I'll tell you a little bit of backstory about it because I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
So you'll see it says 1789, and it says Elijah Craig, father of bourbon, first to char oak barrels on here.
So he started it. Nice.
Yeah, so he was the father of bourbon.
Well done.
And before he started distilling bourbon, though, he was a preacher in Virginia. And he kept getting arrested because he was preaching without a license of some sort of license.
Did you need a license for that?
Apparently you did.
That's
even back
ridiculous.
then.
Whatever.
Yeah, he was preaching publicly and he kept getting in trouble for it. So he was
license
like,
and Bibles, sir. I'm gonna need you to step out of the wagon.
Yeah. So after all that, he was like, you know what? Screw this. I'm gonna take 600 people and we're gonna go to Kentucky and form our own colony. And they named their town Lebanon, which is now named Georgetown, still around.
Hell
Georgetown,
yeah.
Kentucky. That was 1783, I believe, was when they did that. Either 82 or 83.
Damn, you did your history on this shit.
Yeah, 1789, he starts the distillery. And at the time, he's just making the same sort of corn-based American whiskey that a lot of other people in the area were doing.
Right.
But then it was rumored and sort of folktale legends say that he used to reuse barrels a lot. So there would be barrels he used for transporting food, say like salted fish, I think was one of them. And he wanted to reuse those barrels to age whiskey. Mm-hmm. Well, you don't want to just pour whiskey into a barrel that's been aged.
That sounds terrible.
Holding salted fish,
that sounds
right?
worse
That's
than
gonna
rye.
Be awful. It's going to taste terrible. So he was like, I know, let's char the inside of the barrel.
Genius.
Let's char the inside of the barrel.
Let's do it.
And to get that flavor out. And then they found that it actually attributed to the flavor and it made something that was really delicious and thus bourbon.
All right. Well, let's
dip into this.
Well,
this was not a good idea on an empty
Wait,
stomach.
there's more. So, historians have found that everything I just told you is actually completely false and was made up by Elijah Craig in the late 1870s, which coincidentally was when the temperance movement started. Ooh. And so why did they make all this up about and
to
they
sell
didn't make
whiskey.
all of it up. Well, yes, but what they really wanted to do was the father of bourbon was a preacher. The temperance movement, the prohibition movement was very religiously founded.
Right? They want to sway the religious crowd.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And there is no mention of Elijah Craig being the father of bourbon.
Yeah, I wouldn't
until
think so.
1874.
Yeah, you would think you would have heard about it before then.
Exactly. And the whole thing about charring the oak barrels and this fixation on the wood effect, historians found no mention of it in Elijah's personal journals and diaries until about 30 years after he had opened the distillery.
That son of a bitch.
So they can't prove that he wasn't the first to char oak barrels, but they think it's very unlikely that he was.
So let's go ahead and pour it up or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll take some credit.
I like this bottle better.
Who wants some crazy?
I like the look of this bottle. Not
this
that
bottle
that
looks
matters.
a lot friendlier than that one. Kind of looks like a perfume bottle, you know.
Ooh. Put the cork in and make the sound. Yeah, that's good stuff.
So first things first, color. So this one you'll notice
darker.
a little
Darker, yeah.
A little darker. Elijah Craig actually used to, instead of this small batch edition you see here, they actually used to sell a 12-year-old bourbon.
Oh,
crafty son of a bitch.
This used to be an age statement 12-year-old bourbon, but they stopped doing that because it became so popular because it was so good that they could not keep it stocked. So they replaced it with this, which is a very similar, almost identical flavor profile. But this doesn't take as long to make. They can pump out more small batches than they could 12-year-olds because they don't have to wait 12 years for it to.
Yeah, it's easier to just pump it out than pumping up 12-year-olds for sure.
Yeah.
Also, this one's made out of rye, right? So
No.
what's this one made
Corn.
out of?
This one's corn.
Corn.
So, yeah. So if
corn.
you remember, the bourbon has to be at least 51% corn.
Right, you're right. Okay.
I believe Elijah Craig is somewhere in the high 70%.
Does the
So
corn
it's
help make
corn.
it darker or something?
No, it's all clear
Okay.
when it goes into the barrel. The
Gotcha.
color
They
is
just color it
strictly
later.
from the wood.
Oh,
Yeah, the color is
I
just
knew
from the
that.
barrel.
all right.
So
I did know that.
So we do that. So we see the color here. This one is also higher proof. It's a 94 proof.
All right.
Instead of the 90
Awesome.
proof that the Bulleit was. So this one's 47% alcohol. Dustin's excited.
Yeah, you
I'm
can tell.
excited. I like Elijah Craig.
Next, let's smell it.
let's
don't,
have a-
don't forget to open that mouth and that nose at the same time.
Let's have a sniff.
It's not as
Oh yeah.
strong. It doesn't burn like the other one did.
Yeah. So what are you guys picking out of there? Anything?
No.
Actually, yeah.
Liquor.
Yeah.
You could tell Malo gets liquor.
The first thing I'm gonna notice is that it's a lot sweeter smelling
Mm-hmm.
than the other one. I think that I get a pretty strong whiff
that
of
one
like brown
burned.
sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely what I smell.
Brown
That's
sugar.
the first thing I smell.
Yeah, I get brown sugar. I get a little bit of maple in there as well.
Oh, okay, yeah, something sweet, something else sweet.
Yeah, a little
I
bit
can
of
see
maple
that.
syrup. Reminds me of like Cracker Barrel's pancakes. It makes me hungry. I get very strong maple notes off of this bourbon.
It's also different on the glass. The last one, it was running down the side like crazy. This one's sticking. I know that's something to do like when you do it with wine, but obviously this isn't wine. So what's up?
Yeah, so there's still oil contents in whiskey, same as with wine.
Ooh.
It's not as big
Okay.
of a sort of precursor to what the flavors are going to be as it is in wine. And what those are called is those little oil trails that run down. Those are called legs. So
Yeah.
this whiskey's got some legs.
It's more like
to
feet.
It.
Nah.
It's got some legs to it.
It's got some legs to it.
Carries
Knows
Mr.
how to
Middlebrooke over
use
there away.
them.
Enough sniffing.
Let's drink some
Get
damn
to
whiskey.
sipping.
Let's do some drinking.
All right.
Oh gosh.
Okay. Ooh, that's real nice and smooth.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot better.
It's a lot better. Yeah. See, rye
lot
just
better.
maybe isn't your ball.
not my
game,
shit.
You know.
Not my shit.
Yeah,
You gotta
Ryan's
find
gonna
your
be
Best I could
crazy.
do. Honestly, I would still put an ice in it just because I like it colder.
Yeah,
But
that's fine.
I could drink this. Anticipation.
Let me see what I get on this flavor profile here.
Yeah.
Liquor.
I do get a little bit of the maple.
Yeah.
Like definitely. Like the first thing I smell is not the maple. The first thing I smell, like I said before, was the brown sugar. But the first thing I taste is the maple.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That'll happen sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes the smell is a little bit different than the flavor, or at least the priority of, I guess you could say priority, maybe hierarchy. Is a
Right.
better word of things you're smelling can be different when it comes to the flavor. There will be different things accented that maybe weren't accented in the smell.
Okay.
So that totally happens. Yeah.
Bryce Baker's
This
hierarchy
one doesn't
of
make me
smell.
want to throw up. So
That's good.
That's good. That's
That's
a
a
huge
positive.
improvement.
We want to get. Let's just get straight into the ratings here on
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah, go ahead and rate it. I'm going to just knock this back and pour some rye and have you guys compare.
Oh God.
No.
Okay.
no, I don't want to drink the rye again.
it's gonna happen.
Oh,
It's gonna happen. Okay. All right. Do it. Go ahead. I'm gonna give this one flavor a 3.9 picnic baskets because
I'm giving it
actually I like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it 4. I also actually really
it's
enjoy
nice.
it.
It's a good sweet smooth
I really
thing.
enjoy it.
Does it make you gag when you sip on it? You know?
No, it didn't.
Smooth.
Nice. I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
Solid.
I really like this bourbon. I like the brown sugar, the maple syrup, a little bit of caramel, some vanilla in there as well.
Ooh, yeah, caramel.
I think it's a great bourbon. It's one of my favorites. So yeah, 3.5 for me on flavor.
On a complexity, I think, and this just may be my like beginner taste buds, you know, but I mean, I think my complexity, I'm gonna give it a 3.5, just because I don't seem to taste as much. I taste like 1 or 2 things, whereas in the rye, I tasted like 3 or 4. You know, and though I don't know what those 3 or 4 things are, it's just you know. So I'll give it that.
Well, compared to where my rating was, I'm still gonna give it more like a 3.
Okay.
Because I actually can taste different stuff in this, and that shit just made me want to throw up every time. So I guess I couldn't get past that to taste actual things in it.
Yeah.
So we'll just give this a solid 3. I
Right
can
on.
taste flavors.
Yeah. For
Good
complexity, for me, I'm gonna give this a 2.5. And this is pretty common for me with bourbons. Is they're not as complex as a lot of other styles of whiskey.
Right.
So usually my complexity ratings for bourbons are going to be lower, just because there's not a whole lot of room to play around with. It has to be corn. It has to be a new oak barrels. There's not a whole lot of different stuff you can do in the distillation of the aging process.
I got you.
So a lot of them end up being kind of similar, and there's just not a whole lot going on. But the flavors that are there, I like, which I noted in my flavor rating. But again, for complexity, 2.5 broken chairs for me. For the
All right, 2.5.
Talk about the price. How much
How
is
about
this?
value? How much is this gonna set me back if I want to buy this bottle in the store?
Yeah.
So if you want to get this specific one, this 375
Yep.
is 17.
Okay.
17.
A little
If you
bit
want a
more.
750,
Okay.
it's gonna be. I think last time I checked, it's about 32.
Okay.
So it's a little more
Yeah.
than the Bulleit Rye.
It's like a lower middle, middle
Yeah.
maybe.
It's a little more than the Bulleit Rye, but yeah. What do you guys think
I'd do
about
that.
that as far as value?
That's good.
Value, I'd pay
like
that
it.
for that bottle. Definitely.
Yeah, I would definitely
again.
pay that.
I'd pay that. Yeah.
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 And I just might one of these Friday nights. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I
I'll have to
enjoy it.
remember that. It's nice. I like it.
I would pay for
I'm
that.
gonna give on price, man, for that flavor. I'm gonna give it a 4. I'm gonna give it a 4 on the price.
I'll call you a 4 and give it a 4.
All right.
Well, it's gonna be another grand slam for value because I also give it a 4.
We
4
did do
across
that.
the board.
4
Fuck,
across the
damn.
board again.
Yeah,
All right.
you're all pretty much worth
Yeah.
what you're supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly. For what it is, I would probably pay $45.50 for this bottle.
Yeah.
And the
I think it's
75.
very good.
I would. Yeah, I would.
So, yeah, it's
for
great. It's
just-
great value.
For overall, I mean, I think overall I'm gonna give it like a 3.9. It's good. It's on the upper end. I tend to not in my ratings want to give anything a solid 5 unless it's just a grand slam.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's pretty dang close to a 4 for me. It's real good. So I'm gonna
It's
call
good.
3.9. Picnic baskets,
3.5.
3.5.
3.5 beards.
3.5. I'm gonna give it, since we're doing decimals, I'll do a 3.7.
Yeah,
3.7 broken chairs.
3.7
For me.
broken chairs.
And so what we're gonna do now? You guys still have your Elijah Craig?
I do.
All right. So I want you guys. We'll start off with Yogi, since I'm holding it in my right hand and you're to my right.
All right.
So
Let's do it again.
this is your Elijah Craig.
See, that's gonna be a problem because I only drink with my left hand.
You want me to hold your mic for you?
No, that's okay. I got it.
Okay. So you just do some comparing.
All right. Yeah. See, you almost got me there.
No one can call you on it here.
Yeah. What to do?
People on the internet can call me on it. It's happened before through a Snapchat. Yeah, dude. So having them together, This one's definitely sweeter and smoother.
The
This
Elijah
one
Craig?
is definitely like a fucking wagon going through a bumpy cornfield.
Yeah. It's a little more dramatic, absolutely.
It's a little more, yeah.
So let's see. I think that's
the
probably,
Craig. This is the Craig.
That's the Craig.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's definitely the Craig. Okay. Because it's whiskey.
Ah. All right.
So
Middlebrook.
time to compare.
You just got to do it one last time.
I already know what I'm gonna say.
It doesn't matter. We like to see you suffer.
It's true. Zap.
Man, I want that.
Terrible.
I want that face in a picture printed out into a pillowcase so I can see it every damn night before I lay my head down.
Doable.
All right.
God.
That's your only differences?
That's our only differences.
I'm going to go ahead and give it a whirl as well.
Yeah, give
Go
it a
for
whirl,
it.
man. Give us one last little pick 'em.
There's the rye. Then on to Dustin's bourbon.
Yeah. The one I can actually drink.
Right.
I feel like a criteria for Dustin should be how much did I sweat during
lot.
each sip.
I sweat a lot. Can't help it.
Can't help it.
Ooh, interesting.
Oh? Did you find something exciting in there?
Well, just what's weird is because the rye is definitely spicier than the bourbon, but usually the spice in the rye, at least for me, kind of, if you go straight from a spicy rye then to a bourbon, any spice that's in the bourbon is subdued, usually. But it was the opposite this time. It actually accented the spice in the bourbon. So I got a lot of spice out of that bourbon just now. That was interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
That was kind of cool. But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely the bourbon is a lot sweeter. I'm going to go back to it real quick.
Yeah, go back to it.
Okay, yeah, there we go. That's more the classic bourbon flavors. So yeah, much sweeter, much more vanilla. Feels like there's more of a barrel impact on the Elijah Craig than there is in the Bulleit, which is probably from the age.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Elijah Craig is darker, so it would make sense that there's more of a barrel impact. And if we're talking about preferences, I definitely like the Elijah Craig more.
Yeah, that's what
Oh,
I'm
I
talking
think that's
about.
a unanimous
Yeah.
couch
For
decision.
sure.
We all
Definitely
like
the better
that
one.
I'm
Elijah
with you guys
Craig
more.
bag.
I'm just not a
Definitely
big
better.
rye person, personally. Middlebrook.
Don't gotta
obviously
tell
is.
me.
Yeah, you're
He
obviously
ain't no
not.
rye guy.
I'm not a big rye person personally, but I do love the Bulleit Rye. It's my favorite rye. But if I had to pick
Right on.
rye or bourbon, I'm going bourbon all day. So.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's good that you brought both of them in, though, so
Yeah.
we could compare and
Yeah.
contrast between. You could. There's a clear distinction between that liquor and that liquor.
Yeah,
and you can
absolutely.
taste it.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of starting to learn a little bit more. And hopefully you guys out there watching this on the couch also learned a little bit more about
hopefully
whiskey and bourbon
Got
and
a
rye
little liquor
tonight.
education today.
Yeah.
Again, this is Bryce Baker.
It's our guy.
I think we mentioned a little bit about this before. He has another name, but we're gonna save that story for another time. The reason he gives broken chairs as ratings is because he's also known by the moniker of Bryce the Destroyer.
Yeah.
But
And
more
how
on that.
he got that name, you'll find out.
More on that later. You'll find out because Homeboy's gonna be here with us every month.
Mhm.
Tune in next time.
Yeah,
Not always
tune in.
bringing multiple things, and God willing, not a fucking rye.
So yeah, he's gonna join us every month. We're gonna make this a once a month thing. This is
Can't
May's
fuck
whiskey
rye.
pick'ems. So
God.
drink up, stay thirsty, all those good things.
Mhm.
think we're running a little bit over today.
Oh, for sure.
So,
over today on this
for
one.
sure over. So we're gonna go ahead and
uncharted territories.
We're gonna go ahead and get to a stopping point here.
We're gonna round
Bryce,
this out.
thanks for joining us on the
Yeah,
couch.
man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for
having me.
educating us a
Shit,
little
you'll be
bit.
back.
Hopefully, you had a little bit of fun doing this and
absolutely.
sharing your knowledge
Watching
with
my pain.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure
the
to
folks that watch us.
talk about and drink whiskey because it is one of my passions. I do love whiskey.
I mean, I do too, and
I enjoy it.
I'm here to
Sometimes.
learn a little bit more and get a deeper appreciation for the old whiskey. So, all that being said, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here for number 9.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this is Bryce Baker with Bryce's Whiskey Pick'ems of the month for the month of May. I hope you join us next month, which is gonna be June. You're gonna join.
Should be June.
I don't know why I gotta look at you for confirmation. It is June.
Yeah.
Bryce is gonna join us back on the couch for June with his June whiskey pick'em. So you guys want to learn a little bit more about whiskey, a little bit more about bourbon.
Bryce will be back to teach you.
He'll be back. So come on in and come on back.
Oh, yeah.
Next month, we're going to the great, wonderful country of Ireland, boys.
Oh, damn.
boy.
They know how to do a whiskey.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
they
they
do.
do.
Cool.
We're going to find
All
out.
right.
All
I'm a little
right.
excited on
Well,
that
that's
one.
a little bit exciting.
Cool.
Well, as always, I'm gonna go ahead and round this out, everybody. Thanks
you
for
do what you
joining.
want.
Thanks for watching. Again, thanks for
the
being on here,
Yeah,
and
I know.
don't forget to like and subscribe. And
please,
join
yeah,
us-
come
join
like
us
and
out on the
subscribe.
couch.
Whoa. My bad.
Give us a shout
Like and
out if
subscribe.
you like some of the whiskeys. You got comments about it, questions for Bryce, questions about anything. Let us
questions
know. We'll
for
get
us.
into 'em
Yeah,
and
just ask
they'll
away.
answer. So until next time, boys.
Have fun on the couch.
Prost.
Clang.